But when I give you the whole story, I'm sure you will remember what we talked about. Okay, so we'll begin with our Mangala Charan as usual. If you know some of the verses, you can sing along with me. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshura Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadhantikam Guruve Gaurachandraya Sri Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratu Se Namaha Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So please recite after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udirayet
Tato Jayam Udirayet
Nastapraye Swabhadresu
Nasprayesu Abhadresu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhagavati Uttama Sloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki
Bhaktir Bhakti Naistiki
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Krishnaya Vasudevaya
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Devaki Nandanaya Cha
Nanda Gopakumaraya
Nanda Gopakumaraya
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Govindaya Namo Namaha.
Very good. Thank you very much for reciting these verses. They are very important verses and almost we will memorize it by the time, we will finish this class. Okay, so I'm gonna share the screen, bring that verse to you. Okay, remember chapter 8, prayers by Kunti and Parikshit saved. So this chapter is divided into two major parts, actually three. Number one part is where Parikshit is being saved when he was in the womb of his mother. Second part is Kunti's prayer. And third part, that what we are doing now, we have done some, we are completing today. Yudhishthira's lamentation. And that will bring us to the chapter 9, where Bhisma Dev is doing the stuti, very nice chapter. So I would request you to stay tuned for the next chapter. So for this chapter, last two verses that we need to finish today discussing. Okay, 51 and 52. Okay, so let us see how Yudhishthira Maharaj is expressing his sorrow, his lamentation, you can call it, So please repeat after me. Strinam maddatta badu bandhuna.
Srinam
Inamadatta banduna.
Strinam maddatta bandhuna.
Srinamadat bandunam.
Droho ya asava ihothitaha.
Roho yosav
Asav
ihoti.
Droho yo asava ihothitaha.
Roho yosava ihotiyava.
Karma bir grumediye.
Karma bir agrimediye.
Karma bir grumediye.
Karma bir grahmediye.
Naham kalpo vyapohitum.
Naham vyapohitum.
Okay, one more time. Strinam maddatta bandhuna.
Srinamadatta banduna.
Droho yo asavi hothitaha.
Roho yo asava ihotitava.
Karma bir grumediye.
Karma bir grahmediye.
Kal naham kalpo vyapohitum.
Naham kalpo vyapo.
Very good. Who can recite?
Srinam Matatta Bandhunam Drohya Asava Ihottitaha Uttitaha Karma Bir Grihami Daya
Yeah.
Naham Kalpo Vai No
Vyapohitam. Vyapohitum. Vyapohitum.
Vyapohitum.
Okay, very good. Next.
Prabhuji, can I say it?
Sure.
Strinam maddatta bandhunam droho yo asav ihotitaha karma bigriham mediyir naham kalpo
Vyapohitum. Vyapohitum.
vyapohitum.
Very good. Next.
Can Jyotsna recite?
Yeah.
Strinamadatta bandunam droho yo asaf ihotitaha karma bir graham mediyer naham kalpo vyapohitum.
Very good. Anybody? Next. Okay, who is available? Let's say Nihal. Nihal, can you recite? Beta? You, no. Okay. Anybody left who would like to recite? No one. Okay.
Can
Then,
one recite?
yeah.
Okay. Srinam madhata bandhunam droho yo asaf ihotaya karambit ram edir naham kalpo vyapohitam
Very good. Who is this? Haribol?
manhar.
Manhar. Okay, very good. I got it. Okay, anybody else? So Josna did it, Manhar did it, Satvik, Sat, what is that?
Satvik Shah.
Oh, okay. So you already did it, right? Okay, anybody else would like to do? Because I don't see everybody on their face, so I don't know. Who is with little Krishna here?
I already read it, Prabhuji.
Oh, you are, okay. Govinda. Where is Govinda, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to recite Govinda?
Yes. Satramadya dahata
Bandhunam.
bandhunam drohoyoho sam asva itaha karma
Karma
bihir
Grumedhiyer.
govidehe naham
Kalpo
kalpo vya
Vapohitum.
hitam.
Very good. Very good. Okay. All right. Manhar, would you like to read this word-to-word translation, synonym?
Yeah.
Manhar, go ahead.
Srinam of the woman by me, Hata Bandhunam of the friends who are killed, Droha enmity. Yeah, that show all those. Eha, hear it. Uteha has accrued. Karambeha by dint of work.
No, karma bihi. Karma bihi.
Karma bihi by dint of work.
Very good.
Gram it ihe.
Namedhi aihi.
Remediaihi by persons engaged in material welfare. No, never. Aham, I. Kalp can expect. Vyapohitam,
Vapohitum.
vyapohitam. I'm doing the same.
Very good. Okay, who can read the translation?
Prabhuji, can I read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have killed many friends of women, and I have thus caused enmity to such an extent that it is not possible to undo it by material welfare work.
Very good. So who is speaking this?
Omkar.
No, this translation that we are, this cloak. I have killed many friends of women. What we're talking about, who is talking? Who is saying this word? No.
Yudhishthira.
Yes. Yudhishthir is lamenting and he's saying that I have killed many friends of women and I have caused enmity, like that. So let's, Prabhupada explains very nicely. Josna, can you read the purport?
Yeah. The Grahamedis are those whose only business is to perform welfare work for the sake of material prosperity. Such material prosperity is sometimes hampered by sinful activities, for the materialist is sure to commit sins, even unintentionally, in the course of discharging material duties. To get relief from such sinful reactions, the Vedas prescribe several kinds of sacrifices. It is said in the Vedas that by performing the Ashwamedha Yajna, horse sacrifice, one can get relief from any brahmahatya, killing of a brahmana. Yudhishthira.
So, okay, so wait, pause here a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little. Grahamedi. So there are two terms, Grahastha and Grahamedi. So that is according to our social order, that in the beginning brahmachari, then grahastha after he get married, and then vanprastha and then sannyas. This kind of a social order that is given in the Vedic scripture in order to run the society very peacefully. But there are two words, grahamedi and grahastha. So I want to explain that. Grahamedi means those who will not follow the rules and regulations of scripture. They only work for their own sense gratification. They only want to please himself. And grahastha means the couple who lives by the scriptural injunctions, by the rules and regulations that is described in the Vedic literature, Gita, Bhagwatam, etc. While Grahamedi, opposite, works other way, And the other thing defined here is that Prabhupada clarifies that thing regarding Yudhishthir Maharaj lamentation, that performing Aswamedh Yagna, which he already performed, horse sacrifice. So one can get relief from even Brahmahatya. So that is in Shastra, if you perform certain yagna, then you can counteract certain kind of sinful activity. So that is all given. So by doing Aswamedh Yagna, Yudhishthir fulfill all these requirements. Okay. So next paragraph, who can read it? Next paragraph?
Can Govinda?
Yeah, Govinda, go ahead.
Yudhishthir Maharaj performed the Ashwamedha Yagna, but he thinks that even by performing such yagnas, it is not possible to get relief from the great sin committed in war. Enter the husband or the and brother, husband
or the brother or even father.
Even the father or son go to fight, and when they are killed, a fresh enmity is created, and thus a chain of action and reactions increases, which is not possible to be counteracted even by thousands of Aswamedha Yagnas.
Very good. So here, Prabhupada is making a point that normally who goes for fight? Man goes for fight, but maybe their brother, their father, their son may be at home, right? So what happened? Because they were killed in the battlefield, whoever left at home, enmity means, they are like an enemy, so they will think that, they want to take revenge of their father's death or brothers or whoever it may be, So this is what Yudhishthir is thinking, that this cause will build up further enmity. The people, the subject will become enemy, and that was the fear of Yudhishthir. Okay. Next paragraph, last paragraph. Who can read it?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah, go ahead.
The way of work karma is like that. It creates one action and another reaction simultaneously, and thus increases the chain of material activities, binding the performer in material bondage. In the Bhagavad Gita 9.27-28, the remedy is suggested as such actions and reactions of the path of work can be checked only by work done is done on behalf of the Supreme Lord. The battle of Kurukshetra was actually fought by the will of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, as it is evident from his version. And only by his will was Yudhishthira placed on the throne of Hastinapur. Therefore, factually, no sin whatsoever touched the Pandavas, who were only the order carriers of the Lord. For others who declare war out of personal interest, the whole responsibility lies on them.
Very good. Very good. Thank you, Mehika. So here, Prabhupada gives the explanation that actually Yudhishthira and Pandavas, they don't do any sinful activity. Why? Because they acted on Krishna's order, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Another reference is given here of Bhagavad Gita in chapter 9, 27, 28 verse. So 27 verse says that when we do this thing, whatever you do, okay, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. In Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna is instructing Arjuna, he says that whatever you do, just do it for me. And by doing that, you will not incur sin, So in the next verse, Bhagavad Gita, which gives reference 28, it says that if you do that way, that everything you offer it to me, then you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me, in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. So that is what it is. Normally what happens, the action and reaction is whatever action we do, there is a reaction. Just like if you take a ball, that play ball that children play, if you hit in the wall, it's come back, right? So you throw it, but the reaction, that it come back to you. So similarly, any activity you do, they are subject to get reaction. If you do good activity, you will get a good reaction. But if you do bad activity, you get bad reaction. So what is the result of it? For bad activity, you get hellish planet. You go to the hell, and for good activity, pious activity, you get heaven. All right. But heavenly planets are still in the material realm, in the material world. We need to go above heavenly planet and certainly not below in the hellish planet. So our aim is to go to Vaikuntha Dham, or the highest of that is Golok Vrindavan Dham. So in order to do that, we have to come out of the cycle of birth and death. Unless you do that, you will not be able to go to the Vaikuntha Lok or Golok Vrindavan Dham. You may be doing good activity, you can go to heavenly planet, but when you go to heavenly planet and when your pious activities are finished, then you again come to the material world. Okay. And depending on the species, because you're getting chance of, so now if you have done a good job during this life, then you get a good birth next time. Suchanam Srimatam Gehe, they call it, You get a chance to born in a righteous family, Brahmin family, aristocratic family who follows the Vedic scriptures, like that, But if you do not properly follow the Vedic injunction, then you will ruin your human form of life. We will not be able to get to fulfill the purpose of human body, that we need to get to the spiritual planet rather than staying in the material planet. So this is what the sum and substance of this verse. Now we'll go to the last verse of this chapter. Okay, please recite after me. Yatha pankena pankambaha
Yatha pankena pankhambaha
suraya va surakrutam
Suraya va Surakritam.
Surakritam.
Bhutahatyam tathaiva kam.
Bhutahatyam tataiva kam.
Na yagnirmarstum arhati.
Na
Nayagnirmastum arhat.
yagnirmarustum
Again. Yatha pankena pankambah.
Yata
Yatha
pankena
pankena
pankambaha.
pankhava.
Surayava surakrutam.
Suraya va Surakritam.
Surakritam.
Bhutahatyam tathaiva kam.
Bhutahatyam tataiva kam.
Vakyam.
Na yagnirmarstum arhati.
Na yagnirmarustum
Arhati.
So very nice example is given. Panka means mud, suka means wine. Let's see, we okay. First of all, let's chat. Who would like to chant this mantra?
Prabhuji, can I?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yata pankena pankamba suraya va surakritam bhutahatyam tathaiva vekyam na yagnirmarstum arhati.
Very good. Next.
Full manhar.
Yeah, Manhar, go ahead.
Okay. Yatha pankena pankam
Pankambah.
pankambah suryavasu surakritam
Surayava surakrutam.
suryava sukritam
Very good.
Bhutahatyam tathaivaekam kam nayagne marshrutam arhati.
Very good. Next.
In Jyotsna.
Yeah. Okay, Josna, then Gopal. Okay, Josna, go ahead and then Gopal.
Yata pankena pankambaha suraya va surakritam bhutahatyam tataivaikam nayagnir marstum arhati.
Very good. Gopal.
Yata pankabhyaha suryavaha surakatam bhutaha hatam tatatvatkiham na yaharnir mastam arsati.
Arhati. Okay, next.
Prabhuji,
Who is-
can I read it?
Yeah,
Yata pankena pankabha suraya va surakritam bhutahatyam tattaivakam nayagnir masutam arhati.
very good. Anybody left? So Govinda did it. Nihal wants to do it. Manhar did it, right?
Yeah, I did it.
Okay. Mehika did it. Josna did it. Who is left now? Oh, so Satik. Okay. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yata pankena pankambaha surya va surakritam bhuta hatyam tatavaikam
Come.
nayagnya marstum
Arhati.
arhati.
Very good. So everybody covered here? Okay. Let's see who can do this synonym.
Govinda, can Govinda?
Okay,
Can
Govinda, go
Govinda?
ahead. Yes, let's go, Govinda. Go ahead.
Yata, as much as pumpkin by the mud.
So punk is mud. Okay.
Panka ambaha. Water mixed with mud. Sarai by wine.
Suraya.
Surya by wine. Wine. Va. Enter.
Va means either.
Either. Surakatam.
Surakrutam.
Krutam.
Surakrutam.
Prati caused by the slight touch of wine. Bhuta hatva, killing of animals. Tata, like that. Eva, certainly. Ekam, one. Na, never. Yahana, by the
No, yagnaihi. This is what is
Yagnahi, by the
prescribed
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
Marstam, to
Counteract.
Arhati is
Worthwhile. Very good. Who can read the translation?
Can Manhar?
Yeah, okay, Manhar, go ahead.
Guruji, can I do the next sloka?
Yeah, this is the last one.
As it is not possible to filter muddy water through mud or purify a wine-stained pot with wine, it is not possible to counterattack the killing of men by sacrificing animals.
Yeah, so this is, Yudhishthira Maharaj is giving some kind of a example, trying to, because, he don't want to get pacified, so he's just making up this. Is it possible? Muddy water through mud. It's just like a logic. He's showing this logic, and that way I will not be able to sort of a counter, and I will not be able to mitigate the effect, the reaction of the action that what is done by me. That is what he's saying here. So now we go to the purport here. Who can read the purport?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah, one by one. Okay, let's say Manhar can read maybe 5-6 lines.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah, after that you can read it. Manhar?
Okay, Ashwamedha Yagyas or Gomedha Yagyas, sacrifice in which a horse or a bull is sacrificed, were not of course for the purpose of killing the animals. Lord Chaitanya said that such animals sacrificed on altar of yagna were rejuvenated and a new life was given to them. It was just to prove the efficacy of the hymns of the Vedas by recitation of the hymns of the Vedas in the proper way. Certainly the performer gets relief from the reactions of the sins, but in case of such sacrificing improperly done under inexpert management, surely one has to become responsible for animal sacrifice.
Okay, so you can wait here. You can pause here. So what is he trying to say in a few lines here? That in the former time, they used to do this yajna, but at the same time, whatever I offered, the bull or the horse, anybody, so what will happen is, they've been offered to taste the efficacy of mantra, means whether the mantra works or not. Because if mantra works, then the old animals are sacrificed, but they get regenerated, they get a new life. If the priest pronounce mantra correctly, that is what is being explained here. Okay. So Mika, can you start from here? In this age?
In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, there is no possibility of performing the yagyas perfectly for want of expert brahmanas who are able to conduct such yagnas. Maharaj Yudhishthira therefore gives a hint to performing sacrifices in age of Kali. In the Kali Yuga, the only sacrifice recommended is the performance of the Harinam Yagna inaugurated by Lord Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But
You
one
can
should
stop
not
here. You
indulge
can pause
in.
here. You
Okay,
can
fine.
pause here. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga, as we know from Prabhupada's movement here, the Sankirtan movement. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suggested that is the Sankirtan Yagna is the best Yagna for the time and age that we are in Kali Yuga. Because the Kali Yuga is the age where people have a fight over the small thing also, you know. So that is why Sankirtan Yagna is glorified. Okay. So rest of it, paragraph, can Jyotsna read it from
Yeah,
here?
from but one should not indulge in animal killing and counteract it by performing the Harinama Yagna. Those who are not refrain from performing the duty of a kshatriya.
Those who are devotees,
Oh,
you missed
oh,
the one time.
those who are devotees of the Lord never kill an animal for self-interest, and as the Lord ordered Arjuna, they do not refrain from performing the duty of a kshatriya. The whole purpose, therefore, is served when everything is done for the will of the Lord. This is possible only for the devotee.
Very good. So last two line you can finish up.
Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, 8th chapter of the Srimad-Bhagavatam, entitled Prayers by Queen Kunti and Parikshit saved.
Very good. Okay, so I'll take the screen off now. Now you listen very attentively. I'm going to summarize the whole chapter 8 in a story form. And you pay attention to it, because then I'm going to ask you questions. So you have to try to remember whatever I tell you, the story of the whole chapter will be in a story form. It is divided into three parts. First is, well, Parikshit is saved in his mother's womb. Second part is Kunti's prayer, which is long section. And then the last part is Yudhishthira's lamentation. Okay. So I would request everyone to please hear attentively. So in the beginning of this chapter, after chasing away the dishonored Aswathama, the Pandava family went to the holy Ganges river to offer water to their dead relatives. They mourned deeply, means for their loss, and then bathed there before sitting on the river bank. They were so sad. Lord Krishna and the sages tried to pacify them. In other words, this connects the previous verse where, if you remember, Draupadi's children were killed by Aswathama, and Aswathama was punished. And after that, they came to the river Ganges to mourn and to take bath and to perform rituals that normally do when somebody dies in a family. Second, please do not despair. Lord Krishna said that. Means do not be worried about. And the sages also said the same thing. This is the material world. Your cousin were very, very immoral. So their lives in these bodies ended earlier, but everyone is born and dies in this world. Nobody lives here forever. You can only live happily forever in the spiritual world if you always engage in loving devotional service. So they all got up and went back home. So these are the words given by sages and Krishna to pacify the Pandavas family. Okay. Now, the scene is the terrible wars were over. Pandavas now had their kingdom back, thanks to Lord Sri Krishna. And King Yudhishthira was famous throughout the entire world for being so virtuous after performing 3 Aswamedh Yagna, or sacrifice it is called. Then Lord Krishna was now ready to go back to his own city of Dwarka. Okay. The Brahmanas, led by Vyasdev, worshipped him as they bid him farewell. Then Krishna sat on his chariot, ready to leave. Ready to leave Hastinapur and go to Dwarka. Now, all of a sudden, he saw Uttara running towards him. She looked so scared. She said, Krishna, Krishna, O Lord of the universe, you are all powerful. Please protect me. There is a fiery iron arrow chasing me. If you want it to burn me, I don't mind. But please save my baby in my womb. Please do me this favor, my Lord. So who is praying this? Uttara. Parikshit mothers praying this to Lord while he was ready to go to Dwarka at that time. Now, Lord Krishna, who is always very affectionate to his devotees, patiently heard Uttara's humble request. He thought, it is that Aswathama who has released this fiery iron. He is still trying to take revenge and kill the Pandavas family. So 5 Pandavas saw the fiery arrow called the Brahmastra coming towards them, and so they took up their weapon to try to counteract it. When Lord Krishna saw that his beloved devotees were in danger, he at once took up his Sudarshan disc to protect them. So it seems that Aswathama has released 6 arrows of Brahmastra, they call it. 5, 1 for each Pandava and 1 for Parikshit Maharaj, who was in the womb of his mother Uttara. Okay. So here, when Krishna saw that scene, first of all, he saved those 5 Pandavas with his Sudarshan Chakra. Then the mystical Lord also went inside Uttara's womb and personally covered and protected the body of Parikshit Maharaj. They were all saved. Everyone was relieved and grateful to Lord Krishna, especially Queen Kunti. So now, in the second section, she is offering prayer. So this scene, as Mother Kunti watched Krishna's wondrous act, she worried now. He could live and live again, come back. Indeed, his splendid chariot stood ready to depart. So, approaching her beloved Krishna, Kunti spoke her heart, and that is Kunti's prayer. Okay. So, now I'll briefly mention Kunti's prayer in few verses, only the summary of it. Kunti is praying. She's saying, my dear Lord Krishna, please do not go. I know you are everywhere, but no one can see this because you are invisible. Even seeing you here, this material world is like a curtain. Therefore, some people foolishly cannot even see that you are the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. Then she again saying, my dear Krishna, you came to this material world to teach the self-realized sages how to love you. Then with tears in her eyes, she looked at Lord Krishna and asked, but how can I know you? I am merely a woman. Then, remembering Krishna as a sweet little cowherd boy, Kunti is remembering the pastime played by Lord Krishna in Vrindavan while he was a baby. Kunti was there because Kunti is Krishna's father's sister. So, as a relative, she can go there. So, she's saying now that remembering Krishna as a sweet little cowherd boy, she began to smile and prayed, all I can do is simply bow down to you as the son of Vasudev, that means Kunti's brother, who brings happiness to his mother Devaki. O Govinda, you are the darling of Vrindavan, and you bring pleasure to the cows and to our senses. She is saying, you are our hero, Krishna, my beloved Lord. You rescued your mother Devaki from that dark, cold prison cell of the evil king Kamsa, and you saved my sons and me so many times, such as when my son Bhima was given a cake with poison in it, and when our house was set afire, Laksagru, and when ghastly men eating demons tried to eat us, and even when the Kurus tried to disrobe Draupadi, even throughout this terrible battle, you protected us. And now again, from Aswathama's fiery arrow, which I can see you in front of my eyes now. So she thoughtfully says that I wish all this danger could come to us again and again. Why? Because then we get to see you again and again. And then we will always be happy. But if we try to be happy in this material world, we won't be able to see you, because we won't be able to approach you with the same feeling. Some people think that your devotees are your favorite people, but that's just their imagination. Because I know you love everyone equally, and you give everyone your loving mercy equal. They are probably confused because in your pastime, you act like normal human being. Like when Mother Yashoda bound you with ropes when you were a little boy. It was amazing, Krishna, that you were crying and scared like a child. But actually, even fear is scared of you. How can this be? You are truly amazing, my Lord. Then Mother Kunti further says, she said, Mother Kunti could not stop glorifying her dear Lord Krishna. She says, anyone who continuously hears about you, talks about you, tells others about you, or even feels happy seeing others do this, will definitely be able to see your lotus feet and will never have to take birth or die again. Oh Krishna, are you really leaving us even though you know we need you and are completely dependent on your mercy? There is no else to protect us. Everything we have is because of you. When you leave, everything good we have will go away. Our kingdom appears beautiful as it is being marked by the impressions of your lotus feet. But if you leave it, it will no longer be so. Please cut my attachment to this world and let me be just attracted to you and nothing else. Just like the Ganges river flows to the sea without anything stopping her. After hearing Mother Kunti's loving prayer, Lord Krishna simply smiled at her. Oh children, this smile was so enchanting and magical. Okay, so this is the story. And the lamentation part, we just recently did it. So there's no need to repeat thing, but it's just Yudhishthir was, and that is also by the mercy of Krishna, he was not understanding it. He was not get pacified because Krishna's plan was to take Yudhishthir to Bhismadev. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions here. So you can raise your hand, whoever knows it, and I will ask you. From which river did the Pandavas offer water to their dead relative? Okay. Satvik?
The Ganges River.
Ganges River. Okay, good. Next question. What did the Pandava do after reaching the bank of the river? Who is raising the hand? Let me see. Okay. Manhar,
Yeah.
can you?
Okay.
What did
So what's the
Pandava
question
do?
again?
Huh?
What's the question again?
What did the Pandava do after reaching the bank of the river Ganges?
They offered water to their dead relatives.
Okay, and then?
And then they did rituals because for their dead relatives.
First of all, they offered the water. Then what did they do? Next, Jyotsna. Jyotsna.
They were
They
mourning.
rituals. They did rituals to their dead relatives.
Yeah, they offered, okay, the water to their relatives, and what themselves they do.
They were mourning for like the relatives, and then the sages were pacifying them along with Lord Krishna.
Right, but in between, after offering water to relatives, they also took the bath, and then they were mourning. What you're saying is correct. After the morning, okay.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
before like they first offered water to the relatives, and then they took a bath themselves, and then they were mourning.
The morning, yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's the sequence. Okay. So third question. Who tried to pacify the Pandavas?
King of Vinda?
Yeah, Govinda, go ahead.
Krishna.
Okay. Who else?
And the rishis.
Sages. Okay, very good. Okay. Okay. The cousins of the Pandavas are how they are. They are.
Can I answer this question?
Okay, Mohika.
So
Cousins of the Pandavas.
the cousins of Pandavas, who were the Kauravas, they were very aggressive and they had lots of pride and arrogance in them. They also had not enmity, but like they were jealous of the Pandavas. So their culture was their behavior was opposite to what the Pandavas was. They were like aggressive, and when you're like in pride and enmity and all.
Okay, very good. No, that's a right answer. But I'm gonna give you three options and you select one. Okay. The cousins of the Pandavas are moral, immoral, or saintly?
Immoral.
Immoral. Okay, very good. Next question. Okay, now this time I'm gonna ask, let's say, who is the next guy here? Josna. Omkar. I'm gonna ask Omkar. Omkar, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. The question is, everybody born in this material world dies. Is that true, false, or sometimes only?
That's true.
That is true. Very good. Next question. Okay, I'm gonna ask Satvik Shyam. Okay, are you ready, Satvik?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was very famous throughout the world after performing 3 horse sacrifices?
Is it Yudhishthira?
Huh?
Is it Yudhishthira?
King Yudhishthira. Very good. All right. So next question. Let's say who's ready? Huh? Okay, I'm gonna ask Jyotsna next question. Jyotsna, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Lord Krishna was ready to go to his own city. Which was that city?
Hastinapur?
No, he was ready to go to his own city. He was in Hastinapur.
Can Manhar answer?
Wait, was it Dwaraka? Dwaraka.
Dwarka, yes. Okay. Next question is for Mihika. Okay. Who worshipped the Lord Krishna? One by one. Okay. Mihika, are you ready?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
I couldn't get the question because Manhar
Okay.
wasn't.
Yeah, I'm repeating the question. Okay. Who worshipped Lord Krishna when he was leaving for Dwarka?
Oh, it was Queen Kunti.
When Kundi did the prayer later on, but when he was ready to leave in the beginning,
Oh, Uttara.
no, worship, because Uttara
Wait,
came in the picture later on.
wait,
When he
I'm
was
I'm
ready
a
to,
bit confused with
yeah,
the question.
who, somebody worshipped Lord Krishna when he was ready to go to Dwarka. When he was sit on chariot, and then Uttara came, and then, the sequence.
Oh, before that.
Because actually he was ready to go. And so, to give him the farewell, somebody worshipped him.
I keep forgetting the name.
Who is the
One of the Pandavas for sure. No.
who is the author of Srimad-Bhagavatam?
Oh yeah, Vyasadev.
Vyasadev. Okay, very
I
good.
remember now. Vyasadev and the rishis worshipped Krishna.
Okay. So Manhar, the next question is for you. Manhar, are you ready?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Who was running toward Lord Krishna when he was preparing to leave?
I think Uttara.
Very good. Okay. Next for Omkar. Omkar, are you ready?
Yes, Prabhuji. And Govinda try?
Yeah, after next is for Govinda. Let Omkar answer this. Omkar, for you, who fired the iron arrow to kill the baby in the womb of Uttara?
Ashwadama?
Very good. Okay, Govinda, for you now. Are you ready, Govinda?
Yeah.
Okay. What was the fiery iron arrow called? What is it called?
Brahmastra.
Very good. Nice. Okay. Now, this question is for Jyotsna. What did the Pandava do when they saw they were all in danger?
They took out their own weapons to fight.
Very good. Mihika, next question is for you. What did Lord Krishna do when he saw the Pandavas were in... No, that is done. How did Lord Krishna protect the baby in Uttara's womb?
So he took another form of himself and shortened it to the size of a thumb, and he went inside Uttara's womb and protected Parikshit Maharaj and Uttara at the same time from the Brahmastra.
Very good. All at the
And
same
for-
time. Lord
and
Krishna
for-
can do it. He
Yes.
can still be sitting in the chariot. He can still go to Uttara's womb.
And then for the other five of the Brahmastras, Krishna took out his Sudarshan Chakra.
Right. Very good. Okay. Is Nihal can answer? I see Nihal, but he's not speaking. Nihal?
Yes.
Okay, Nihal, I'm going to ask you a question. Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Govinda means, what is the meaning of Govinda?
The protect, huh?
Yeah, Govinda means one who brings happiness to. One who brings happiness to two things.
Cows and
Cows. Very good.
us. Senses.
Senses. Very nice. Very good. Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
what does Gopal mean then?
Gopal means, Pal means protector. Go means cow. Protector of cow means coward.
Oh,
That's Gopal.
okay.
All right. So next question is for Manhar. Manhar, Krishna saved his mother Devaki from what?
From
From where?
Kamsa's from Kamsa, because Kamsa was probably
Kamsa's prison house. Yeah. Okay. Next question is, okay, who can answer next question? Who is ready? Let me see. Okay, Mihika. Who saved the Pandavas many times from different dangers?
Lord Krishna.
Okay, very easy. Okay, so last question is for Jyotsna.
Can I try the last question?
Okay, who is that? Govinda?
Yeah.
Okay. Why did Queen Kunti want the danger to come to her again and again?
Because she want to see Krishna again and again.
Very nice. Okay. Thank you, Govinda. All
And
right.
if danger came to her, then Krishna would protect her and all the Pandavas. Then she would get to see Krishna.
Okay. Very good. All right. So next Tuesday when we meet, we'll begin with chapter 9. Very nice chapter, Bhisma Dev Stuti. Okay. So please do join next Tuesday on time, so that way we can start on time. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Bye.
Krishna.